am not that delicate. Let's say I like to get physical. So
Oh.
like when, well, oh God, I am burying myself word after word.
Heels, pumps, and chair shots. Get it right. And you're hanging with the bad guys. Heels, pumps, and chair shots. Get it.
Welcome back, baby faces. Victor Villain here, and I'm joined with
JP Savage. Mischief, you heard?
And we are also joined by the lovely Salina De La Renta.
Aye.
Thanks for joining us today. It's an evening, actually.
Thank you for having me and for your time.
We really appreciate the time. We enjoy the work. Making a lot of noise for the industry right now.
Oh yeah.
The women's division for the indie scene. Why don't you just tell us a quick favorite superstar? I think, right?
Yeah. Favorite superstar or your biggest like influence? You know what I mean in terms of who's around.
Well, my favorite superstar is LA Park for sure, but my biggest influence is Melina.
Really?
Okay.
Yeah. I think she has like done a lot for the women's division, and I feel like I actually got the pleasure to meet her. And sometimes they say that you shouldn't meet your idols. Well, I'm really happy that I met mine.
Well, why do they say you shouldn't meet your idols?
I've heard that like people have like either a really bad experience or it could be a really good, and sometimes you get disappointed when you meet somebody
see that. Okay.
that you look up to.
Got you. It gets a perception of
but
them.
it was different with her, and LA Park is right now to me the best wrestler, and I think he has been throughout his entire career. So
Let's
that's
talk
a long time.
That is a long time. Let's talk about that a little bit.
De La Renta always showcasing Latin talent, right?
That's
Like
right.
that's her thing, and that's what we
That's
continue
how
to see.
you
Really?
Big splash for the Hispanic name. Who started MLW? Assigned with Pentagon, right? That you
Yes.
managed him first. How was that? Tell us about that a little bit.
So when I met Pentagon and FENIX, it was honestly like a really good experience. They were one of the first big stars that I've met, and I'm not gonna lie, I was a little starstruck at the beginning, and I was like, okay, let me calm down because these are the people I am representing, so I need to chill.
Of course.
And then after talking a little bit, we got to know each other and everything, and the dynamic was there. So we definitely knew that we were going to be good working together or against each other. So I don't know. There's that.
Okay. Wow. And when we looked up some of your work, and we've seen your indie work with ACW in the past.
ACW?
ACW.
Not the other one? Not the new one?
No, not the new one.
Oh,
Not the new one.
No.
Unless there's something you don't want, you're not.
Tell us something.
Somebody jump in slip that we don't know about.
Well, Selena,
No.
I'm a big fan of your promo work. Every time I look at a video of you kind of promo, you are dynamic. You have a presence, and I'm just curious, who has influenced your ability on the mic?
Well, so I don't know if you know, but I don't come from a wrestling background, and I didn't meet wrestling until I was 19. I'm only 22, and I recently turned 22. So my knowledge of wrestling, thank you. It's kind of small compared to my age, and I've only known wrestling for the 3 years that I've been in it. And mic work, I gotta say, I didn't really look at anybody when I started doing it. I would say that I mainly followed other stars in different businesses, such as J-Lo, Lady Gaga, and they always had the thing where they stand out. And I was like, well, if I'm going to join professional wrestling, which I didn't even know of until I was 19, I was like, well, I want to have that presence that they have in their industry. So I have a huge background in acting. And I've never had like stage fright or anything like that. I mean, to me, it's like I see a mic, I see an audience, I just want to be in front of them because I have stuff to say. I have stuff to say for days. So
Well, I'm glad because a lot of times the people that have presence, A lot of time people have presence want to say that, oh no, I'm actually really shy and introverted. You're like, nah, I'm good. I could handle it.
No,
Give me
great.
the pressure.
You're like, give me more.
You've been pulled back.
Oh, so you ever like say too much and you go to the back and they're like, Salina, what you doing there? You wildin'.
Well, because I love my job and I really don't want to lose it, I always go to court first, and I'm like, hey, I want to say this and that, and he's like, oh, whoa, you were born in the wrong time. That you cannot say that. And I was like, okay, so what do I say?
Wow. I'm curious to hear what that pitch was.
That's gonna be off the air, I suppose,
yeah.
right?
No, I can't.
We'll talk about that.
I can't. I will literally hang myself, like not figuratively.
Well, I think it's great that you pull from different types of talents, such as like actors and performance, people that do performances, because that's what brings something unique to the product.
Right. I do a lot of I study a lot. I go to college. I'm pursuing a bachelor's degree in dramatic arts, so I'm constantly studying characters. And the people that I study are villains usually. So, to me, I'm kind of a method actor, and I kind of have to become the character that I want to play. And Salina is really an amplified version of me.
Oh.
Okay, it's interesting you say that, because Salina De La Renta gives me the more powerful female role type. Like
that's the impression you
if I
get.
need to think of any other character, I think of right off the bat, I think Stephanie McMahon, with all that power position she's in. You kind of play that role, you know, as you talk with Loki in those promos and whatnot.
Well, yeah. I mean, of course, I am aware of Stephanie McMahon and what she does, and I definitely have looked at her work, and I know how we can have some, I don't know, some similar things, and the suit and the professional look and all that. I get it. She is like the head of WWE, and then I would be the head of MLW. I'd be the only woman, woman, powerful, I don't know, power broker. I'm the only one there. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't think that's a question. It was just a comparison. So.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I see it.
Who would you? So, in your opinion, then, who do you compare yourself to? Past, present, future, whatever. Like, who do you think you best match up with? You can talk about in the mic, in the ring, however you'd like to see it. But who do you think is your mirror image, or even like somebody that you look up to?
In wrestling?
Anywhere really, because I know you're more than just a wrestler, right? Like, you're an actress. So, in any facet of life.
Okay. The person that I look up to the most, I don't know if you've ever watched Unreal, but the showrunner of that, the woman that plays the showrunner in that show, it's a Lifetime show. It's not like super popular. It's actually very underrated.
Okay.
That woman is somebody I look up to. Like, she has everything that a businesswoman needs to have, and she has the bitchy attitude. And to me, it's more about, like, the wrestling is like the entire thing is not really about I look this part. It's more about what can I back it up? Can I talk? Can I really cause the danger that I'm pretending I can cause? So
exactly.
When I look at her, she always goes like a bit too far, and I am that kind of person too. To me, it's like, all right, he did. Let's see. Let me say something literal. All right, he took my wrestlers, then we shank him on national live television.
I want to see that.
Yep. I mean, I've heard you talk about drinking blood.
Oh, that's right. Oh shit! I thought she was talking crap, man. I completely forgot to go that storyline.
I mean, I've heard her talk about drinking blood in her promos. I mean,
yeah,
this is what we found.
But that definitely took back though.
But I think that's important, right? Because I mean, that's a certain style that not many people can pull off sometimes, because it has to be authentic, it has to be organic.
You recently, so you speak about that character with Salina De La Renta, right? Now, did you obviously seem like you're having fun doing this character. Now, did you have as this much fun doing your previous character, Mila Naniki? I think you said.
Yeah. I have fun doing everything I do.
Okay.
I don't do anything that I don't want to do. So trust me. When I said I was the happiest booty monster that there was, and I was popping on the indies before I got picked up by a national television network. And well, of course, okay, I was kind of popping on the indies, and I was getting booked, and the Booty Monster was like, everybody called me that, even at work. It was kind of horrible. So if like I kind of liked it, I brought that on myself. If I went to church, even the pastor would know, and I would be like, okay.
No.
Yeah, I went to a small church. That's why he knew exactly what I did. Because they're like, can I have your Facebook? And I'm like, I don't social media,
He was
and
in
then
the-
they would find me.
Damn, the
Damn.
pastor was like stalking you out.
That's what I'm saying, though. I thought you were going to say that formed in the church. You know, sometimes some independent shows can run in different locations. But no, it was an actual church you were going to.
Yeah, no, it's an actual church. But I do go to church, but it wasn't like creepy or anything. I realized what I just said. It was like
Oh, no. Wait a minute. No.
it's just embarrassing.
I hear you. And that's tough to that duality, you know, as far as being an actual performer and then having your life on the side as well. You know, that's a specific example of that.
I don't have a life. My life is my job.
There you go.
I don't have one anymore.
Oh man.
So with that being said, right, you're constantly like under the microscope, right? Not just on TV, you know, but also like fans are always looking out for you, and clearly like pastors and people at church. So with that being said, have there ever been have there ever been any moments where like you've been like really embarrassed in the moment?
Not really. I just turn everything into something good. Like, to me, something that was kind of embarrassing, but then I was like, nah, that's actually good. It was one time I had this suit. I like wearing very extravagant clothes, and my titty came out, and I was like, oh boy. But
Oh boy.
but then I had stickers under, so it wasn't like that embarrassing. It was just like a lot of red tape. And you could hear the audience go like, boo! Show us tits! Show us!
So question for you.
And then
I'm just very curious.
flip them off, and that's it.
Okay, there you go. Immediate heat.
Yeah, right.
Half the breast.
No, they weren't booing; they were boobing. They were like, boo!
So I'm very curious, like, because we do notice, you know, especially us growing up watching wrestling. I mean, in the '90s, tops coming off was a regular thing, you know. And obviously
Yeah.
the business has moved away from that to a certain extent. But how do you reinforce to make sure that that doesn't happen? You talked about having pasties on, but is there any other adhesive that you place or anything like that in order to avoid the mold functions?
Well, I mean, I try to keep like my wardrobe malfunctions at 0. So if anything, I always have a plan B. So I always wear underwear on TV. Like, know that. And if you don't have underwear, you have stickers. And if you have stickers, you also put sticker on your clothes. But I guess my movement was too rough because I am not that delicate. Let's say I like to get physical. So like when, well, oh God. I am burying myself word after word.
No, you're not. JP, stop it. You are fine. I'm just.
Oh boy. Whatever.
These things. We cannot have a single nice thing in this podcast.
Well, just physical. Like you had mentioned, you became a wrestling fan going into the business. How was the physicality to transition for you?
Well, I tried doing performing arts my whole life, and then I tried all sports. That doesn't mean I was good. It means I tried, and I was very good at like track. I was good at soccer. I sucked at volleyball. I couldn't play ping pong. I couldn't do softball. I was so bad. I tried to do basketball. I didn't find the basket clearly. It was so bad.
Okay.
So I come from a big sports background, and I did acting for a long time too. So it was like, oh, I met wrestling, and I was like, this is like the perfect combination of everything I like to do.
Awesome. Well, I'll give you credit because in a short time you have been wrestling. Again, I think it's your presence that really, really takes over, and that's very hard to teach in the industry. You can have someone that's very, very skilled. Us ourselves went to a wrestling camp. Shout out to Monster Factory, and we were able to see that people that they could go in the ring, they had all the potential in the world, but if they didn't have that presence, no one was interested. And you clearly have that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With that being said, what would you say to somebody coming into the business and asking you for advice?
So I would say that the everything comes from the locker room. You cannot get to the top without being nice behind the scenes. Like if you come here and you're a bitch in real life, nobody's gonna love you and nobody's gonna want to put you on their show. So you
Wow.
need to be humble. And in life in general, you can only get ahead by giving to other people. So it in wrestling you have to network. You give, you receive, you pay your dues, you get the spot.
Wow, that's amazing. I mean, that's exactly what we learned when we were in the Monster Factory. Danny Cage spoke to that. The number one thing was about being a good person. You know, just being able to
Yeah.
have actions. You know, paying your dues, and it's just it's insane to believe that it's such a simplistic way of thinking, right? In the sense that that should be easy, but it's not,
Yeah.
and
It
especially
should be human nature to treat each
exact.
other nicely. It doesn't matter, like in every business, because I did modeling, I did singing, dancing, acting, everything. It was full of everything. If you are not a good person, if you are just here to bash and compete and you just want to step on other people, you're getting nowhere.
Wow.
So, without, I guess incriminating yourself or anybody else, what has been like a story you can tell us about like some negative backstage interaction, something exactly to your point about being good backstage?
So I'll tell you this. I honestly, if I have a problem with someone, I try to solve it. If it cannot be solved, then chances are the other person's fault. Because if I'm wrong, I apologize. And actually, at times, if the other person feels I've done them wrong, I will apologize, even though I don't think I did. But so I have obviously in life I've had negative interactions, but I don't even mention those people because why give them the spotlight, my
Hey.
spotlight, when they were treating me badly. So I can say that the way I got ahead and the way that I'm in the spot that I'm at has been with being humble and trying my best and trying to help other people and other people help you back. But I don't have anything negative to say.
Mm. Yeah. Peep how she just did a promo real quick.
Yeah, I was thinking that shit too. I was like, yo, she cutting a promo on us right now.
Yo, she just
Nah,
got a
no
mad
promo, no
sex.
Preaching.
There you go.
We've been trying to stall for this one. I'm sure you get asked this a lot, but how's that injury going? How you coming along with that?
Well, it's going great. I'm on national TV, so that's
Right,
great.
sure.
The
You
minute that I got injured, I got signed. So maybe that was a sign. And
Hey,
I'm
Okay.
I,
pun
I'm
intended.
enjoying every single minute of my injury. It has given me time to be with my family a little more and understand like other parts of my life because I was more focused on I won't make it if I don't have my leg. I won't be and I've actually discovered I have a lot more talents than just being in the ring and
Mm.
being active and trying to, like
Correct.
focused on one
Correct.
thing. So it really has helped me in other aspects of my life.
That's important.
My injury is great, but it looks like I'm gonna be back in like 4 months, which I really hope. So I can go back to wrestling. Like
Okay.
I learned my lesson. I love it, but yeah, I love wrestling too. So I want to go back.
Well, we're definitely enjoying you right now and what we see on MLW every week. Uh,
Thank you.
so speaking of runs now, we love what your work on MLW now. Ideally, do you see NXT as something as a goal for you?
Well, obviously, when I joined wrestling, my main goal was WWE, and I don't think any wrestler can tell you that that's not a dream because honestly, majority of us have heard of wrestling because of WWE, and
Of
in the
course.
future, I would definitely consider working with them, but in order for me to consider a company, I need to have an offer, and right now I don't,
Hey.
and I am with MLW, who has given me the opportunity of a lifetime because they
That's right.
really have given me a platform to showcase what I can do, and I'm only 22, so my possibilities are endless if I keep it straight.
Mm.
And I just want to I just want to keep trying and seeing where I can end. But if I don't make it to WWE, my life is not over. My trajectory and my legacy is gonna be there. So I'm
Right.
just
All
here
right,
to make history.
that's fair.
Hey.
Well, speaking of making history, right? WrestleMania is right around the corner, and like you said, wrestlers or I mean, even non-wrestlers, right? Like us, like we've always dreamed of like what our WrestleMania moment would be, who we would wrestle, what are the conditions, what's the gimmick, like how do we get there, right? What's our WrestleMania moment gonna be like? And so I pose that question to you, Salina De La Renta. What does your WrestleMania look like? Like, what is that? If you could frame it in your mind against a perfect opponent in your world, what does that look like?
I'll tell you this. Honestly, I haven't really thought of a WrestleMania moment because I don't see my future the same. My next 10 years, I don't see them like that. I do expect to one day win an Oscar, and that would be my WrestleMania.
Oh,
Wow.
fair enough. So,
my
what
God.
projects do you have upcoming in terms of acting, or what are you looking to get into?
I'm going to college right now, so I want to finish that
Okay.
first, and
Oh,
then I'm
fair
going to
enough.
continue. I'm doing a minor in psychology to be a sex therapist when I'm 30.
Hey,
Fantastic.
get
So
it,
by
girl.
the time I'm 30, that when I have my PhD, then chances are I'm gonna start trying to move like a little away from wrestling and more into acting. But as soon as my leg is okay, I'm gonna go back to doing castings and everything I was doing before. And obviously, I plan on continuing to wrestle. But I after having my 5 different injuries on the same leg, I do understand that maybe I shouldn't be risking my life all the time.
Mm.
So I don't know. It's a hard question to answer right
Interesting.
now. So because I don't know what the future has for me, I'm just enjoying the present.
Fair enough. That's a good answer. Now, you buried the lead hard fucking body. You wanna so you're gonna go get your PhD. That's awesome. That's amazing. You wanna be a sex therapist. That's awesome. How'd you get into how did that come around as an option?
Well, I didn't really think about it until I took a human sexuality class, and I found out that there's a lot
Oh,
more that people don't know. And I was like
exactly.
kind of shook of all the things and options that there are. And I was like, well, there's a lot of people that have problems with this, and sex sells in any industry. So if I'm on TV and in the sex industry, that's just bank. And I want bank. I
Yes,
love money. Who doesn't?
of course.
Word.
Right.
Sex sells even in PG TV. And that's the
Well,
reality.
I
Well,
don't really
Selena,
know if it's PG.
I mean, they sell in some way somehow, right? They make it
Somehow.
palatable. As myself, I am a therapist in real life, and I did take human sexuality, but I actually had a traumatizing experience on that class because our professor
You
was
did?
an elderly woman, and the things we were
Oh.
discussing, she was showing us was pretty traumatic.
Yeah,
It was a
I
it
saw
was
a
a
lot. I saw a lot of bad stuff.
A lot of that
Oh
stuff.
my
No,
goodness.
but an interesting course, an interesting field, and it actually is blowing up.
Yep.
So when all of this is said and done, all right. Not to get all morbid or anything, but what would you like on your tombstone? What do you want to be remembered for? What do you want people to say about Salina De La Renta and her life in general, not just wrestling, in general? What do you want to be remembered about who you are?
Damn. I want a lot. I want to like. I would have a book. I don't know.
There's a tombstone and a book on top, and everybody's got to like sit there and go through it.
That's a cool one because I don't know. I don't know. I haven't really thought about my death day. I've thought about the afterlife, but never my death day. That's
Ooh, the
The
afterlife.
afterlife.
Girl, who you gonna haunt? Who you got to haunt?
Saying
I
though,
want to know about this.
what is
well, no. What I mean by afterlife, I mean that I have thought of like what comes after you die. So to me, I don't look forward to dying, but I look forward to finding out what comes after. And I've always like known that I've had my entire life the question of what is life, and I know that I will find out that day. So I look forward to finding out.
Well, I will. Since you suggested a show for us already, I'm going to suggest a show based on this topic. Watch the show Forever. It's on Amazon Prime.
Okay, I will.
And Maya
Forever's pretty
Rudolph.
cool. Russian Doll is really good on Netflix.
Oh,
Yeah, and it's got something to do with afterlife. I thought it was
Okay.
pretty interesting.
Okay.
Season
Sounds
one.
good. Try Westworld.
Westworld.
Westworld's
Westworld's
good.
fire.
Yes.
And that's the
That's
remake.
fire.
Don't care about any of that because April is coming, and that's
of course,
Game of Thrones.
Oh, that's when
Oh,
everything
Game of
just takes.
Thrones is an entire masterpiece of its own.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Everything
Shout out
takes
to
back to that.
JB Abrams,
Come
Bayonne,
April.
New Jersey.
Lightning round.
I'm gonna shoot it back to wrestling real quick right before our lightning round.
I bet.
Let's go.
One more wrestling question. Now, you recently went to perform in Puerto Rico for CWA.
Yes.
It's been historically known to be a rowdy wrestling crowd, from experience.
Ric Flair almost died.
And DR too.
From your experience, do you feel that still holds true today?
That is.
That it's route.
Yeah.
No, well, I'm Puerto Rican. And it's kind of different. So, like, when I went there, I thought this is gonna be easy because I know what is gonna piss them off, and no matter what I said, they loved it. It was like they were proud of everything I've done, no matter what. So I would be there and be like, "Your wife is ugly," and then the wife would be like, "Yes, I am." I'm like, "What?"
So you couldn't get no.
Oh my God.
You were able to get no
That's
heat.
hilarious.
No, there was nothing, and the everything was just going so weird. And the minute I came out, I was like, "All right, cut the music, because I'm about to talk." And everybody's like, "Yeah, Salina's here." I'm just like, "Okay, cool."
You're like, chill, chill,
Baby, real quick.
Y'all don't know the rules to this shit.
No, I was like, "All right, well, I'm gonna leave," and they're like, "Boo!" Okay, well, then that sucks.
That CWA Women's Championship, is that something you're eyeing?
No.
No.
No? Okay.
I am not right now because I can't wrestle. So I don't want to put my hopes high, because if my doctor tells me, the thing is, I am having problems picturing my future because I don't know what's gonna happen. And I like staying positive, but like I've been told by my doctor that I'm gonna be coming to wrestling in a few weeks for the longest time. And they keep telling me no and no, and I was supposed to be back on April, and now they're saying summer, and I just don't know. So I don't want to be like, I'm after this title and after this, because then women start cutting promos on me, and then I have to respond, because otherwise I'm a pussy, and it's just not okay.
No, I myself have gone through knee injuries. I would
So
definitely recommend taking
how
time.
bad that is.
Yeah, and unfortunately, I never got the surgery, and to this day, it's not the same. So
Yeah, you can hear a squeak when it's rainy out. He's like,
Absolutely.
When it's really cold.
That was just, yeah. In high school, I was definitely like Forrest Gump. After I had my
he had the Stone Cold knee brace from like
Yep.
groin to ankle, like the
Yep.
whole fucking thing.
got me into a lot of
That's so
trouble.
funny, because that's exactly how I was. I was like good in track, and I was running, and I was woo, hell yeah, I'm an athlete. And now I'm like, I can't even run to the post office when I just got some Chanel. Like it's sad.
Well,
So-
I mean, the injuries are part of the wrestling world, right? And you've been able to go
Yeah.
through the first few run of it. But I mean, as you mentioned before, now you've been able to untap other parts of your wrestling persona, of your career
Yeah.
path. Right? So, I mean, in a way, it's a beautiful thing, because maybe if you were still in the ring, that wouldn't be the case right now, right?
Exactly, yeah. Because I know for a fact that if I was somebody tried to book me as a manager when I was a wrestler, I would have been like, I am not a manager. So
Mm.
that's it.
Mhm.
And definitely, I think, even though the injury has cost me a lot of money, a lot of time, and a lot of my career, it has given me other opportunities. So I guess there's a real big upside to it.
I have a question that has nothing to
Go
do with
for it.
whatever we're talking about right now.
Can I just jump in
It's
real
got-
quick before
Huh?
that then?
Oh, you
So I have
wanted to
something
follow
tie
up?
into-
Oh, I'm
You
sorry.
speak about other opportunities and stuff. We want to commend you for how's doing the Spanish announcing at MLW?
Oh, the commentary.
That's a good question.
commentary.
Yeah.
So I didn't even know that I made history. I am the first ever Spanish female commentator in the history of professional wrestling.
Hey, let's go! Give it up for Salina.
That's amazing. That is amazing, man. Breaking barriers down. I
That's
love
what's
it.
up.
Yep. And I was kind of like shy at the beginning, actually, with this one, because I didn't know how to do it that well. I knew
Oh.
Tony, because Tony is like one of my favorite people in the world right now, Tony Schiavone. And I
Yes.
always looked at his work and think he's great. So
For nothing, yeah, I love his voiceovers on the commentary too. So
Okay.
for sure, he has a way of telling a story.
Mhm.
And I So when I got the opportunity, Court called me and was like, "Hey, we think that you would be great at the commentary. You have stuff to say." And I'm like, "Yeah, but I don't have stuff to say about wrestling right now. Like I have stuff to roast people with." And he's like, "Then that's fine because you're doing color commentary." And
Exactly.
they explained it to me a little bit more, and I had to do homework because
Mm,
if I don't know what I'm doing, then I'm probably not gonna be good at my job.
of
So
course.
I've had to really look at different wrestling shows and see how they do it. But definitely Tony is my inspiration because he does the same show. So I get to watch the show when
Mm.
he does it, and I kind of have an idea of like what they're trying to like get across because nobody tells me. I just tell it how I see it.
Hey.
So I don't know. It's been good. It's been easy to adjust, and now that I get the hang of it, I come up with my own um I don't know, my own names for stuff because, of course, I don't. The terms in English and in Spanish are not the same, and I learned wrestling in English, so it's kind of
Oh,
hard to translate everything.
Of course.
So I kind of have my own thing going on there, and I love it.
No,
I
but
love
you know,
the
way
fact that I
in a
get to
way,
have.
you
Uh,
get that Latino American flair to it. You know what I mean?
yeah, I do the little oh papi and all that stuff, and they go crazy.
It works. It
No, no,
works.
we
It
do
works.
go crazy. It works
It works.
every
I
time
say it works.
without fail.
all right, creeps, calm down. Where are your pants?
I'm
You see,
calm.
that's why
I
we
am
can't have no
calm.
nice
It's
things.
I'm
okay.
drinking
It's
my
okay.
coconut water. I'm
So
chilling.
with that being said,
Keeping it tropical.
Hey, gotta stay
what's the
hydrated.
weirdest? All right, so other than tonight, what's the weirdest fan interaction you've had?
Um, what do you mean?
Like, maybe like you've been on a podcast, they ask you a weird question, or people stalking you in the airport, or something like some weird thing a fan has done for you or said to you.
The weirdest. Yeah, for sure. I got one. Um, there was this one time that a fan made a fan pitch of my butt, but I was the booty monster, so I did that to myself. And it
Okay.
was,
Okay.
and they did it was all close-ups of my butt, and it was weird enough, but they had some good gifts, and I kept following the page because I could find stuff that I
Wow.
couldn't even find myself.
Oh,
Damn.
okay.
He's like, he made them shits
Turned it around
himself.
for herself.
Wow.
That's
How does
nice.
that happen? That's
Yeah,
wild.
because it would be like fan pictures and stuff that I didn't take from my
What was the
phone.
website?
So it was kind of creepy, but then they sent me a message. They DM me and Arya Blake, and they were like,
Hmm?
"Hey, how about you guys make Arya Blake pocket pussy and a Selena pocket ass?"
Oh,
And
Oh
I was like,
shit!
what is happening? I was so confused.
a
And
lot.
he's like, merch idea. I promise if you mold it, it'll be great. And I was like, what?
That's a
And then
lot.
I was so offended. I didn't even know what to say. I had another podcast that actually, well, that wasn't a podcast. That was a fan. I had a podcast that was like, hey, we want to buy some of your pictures, and they interview me and everything. So I gave them a good package deal, and I was like, hey, here you go. You have 10 8 by 10s. I make a good price. They took everything, and they're like, we're gonna give them out with the blue pill and condoms.
Oh my God.
Wow.
I was like, what? So when I cut a promo, I sent the longest message to them. They're like, no, 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 we won't do it. We promise. And I was like, no, you will not do that because I will send lawyers and it's gonna get crazy.
Oh
Yo,
my
that's a
God.
lot, son. That's
See,
wild.
see, I thought I knew some things, and now you just
Yeah,
wow.
that's
I want to
Yeah.
apologize on behalf of all the creeps out there. Wow.
No, you don't.
I mean, I'm not one of them, but
They were literally gonna sell my picture as a jerk off package. I was
oh
like,
my
what is
God.
happening?
Yeah, unfortunately, as you know, especially with social media, it gets to a point where it's too invasive. I
Yeah.
mean, you've seen the situations that happen time and time again, and it's really disgusting. After a while.
The thing is that social
It's,
media,
you're taking somebody's humanity.
so social media has given people like electronic balls because they say stuff that they won't say to my face.
Oh, very true.
It's
Very
crazy.
true.
So, super
Oh,
crazy.
have being that you just said that. Have you ever at a show gotten to a point where a fan got to up your skin, and you
Nah.
maybe shot at them for a bit? Huh?
Not really. I
You
mean, I
mentioned your
slapped
method
a fan
act
once.
good.
Oh, I want to know about that. See, that's good shit right there.
I did, and it was actually recent. It was at a show
Oh,
in Tampa. And this one fan, I've seen her go to shows and say stuff, and it's just like obnoxious. And then she got like so close to my face, and her breath stank, and she stank, and it was so much going on. And then she like kept shouting in my face, and then she spit at my face like by accident.
No, wait. Oh, okay. Because you're screaming.
Oh, but my hand just like went straight across her face like crazy. And the craziest part is that the crowd is shook. They're not even looking at the match anymore. And her mom came to me. These are two older women. The mom came, slapped me.
Wait, hold on. You guys, so you slapped some chick in the crowd, and then her mom came. How old was this chick in the crowd? She was like, you slapped.
Like 38 or 40.
Oh, I'm here thinking like, oh damn, she smelled like someone's
38, and her senior citizen mother came.
Yes, that's exactly what happened. So the mom comes to me. The mom slaps me. I'm like, I can't slap an old lady. So I shove the guardrail, and she falls back on her seat.
Oh shit!
No.
Wow. So epic.
Sit the fuck down.
Abuelita out there pissed as hell.
Damn.
I was like, damn, I got that strength.
Well, being in the moment, so you answered my question.
Yeah. All right. So before we go, we're gonna have our little lightning round. We're gonna ask you rapid fire questions. Just answer the first thing that pops in your head. We call it around the chair.
I'm so bad at this. Let's do it.
All right. So we call it around the chair shots. So here we go. All right.
Okay.
We'll start off easy, right? What do you like doing in your spare time when you have spare time?
I like to watch shows.
Cool. What show? What's your number one right now?
El Chapo.
El Chapo. What's your biggest pet peeve?
That is something that grosses me out, right?
Yeah.
The biggest is cockroaches.
Wakala. How about like something that someone does that really like grosses you out?
Oh, chewing with their mouth open.
What's an annoying habit that you have that you know other people are like, oh man, Salina's gross?
I don't.
Which one?
Really,
Or a few.
I bite my nails, but that's not that bad.
That's safe.
Like your toenails or your fingernails?
Yes, my fingernails.
Nah, we got you. We got you. So dirty copy.
I would never. I go to the spa, so I would never like go there and be like, "Hey, look at my toenails. I bit them."
Oh man, I lost him. Oh, what's your favorite movie?
The Heat.
Ooh. Favorite Halloween costume?
I really didn't celebrate Halloween until like last year, but I dressed like a cop, which is right now on my Instagram.
Okay.
Oh, checking that out in like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, have fun.
What sport do you enjoy watching?
Wrestling.
What's your favorite song?
Natural by Imagine Dragons.
What is your favorite piece of cake? Flavor of cake?
Oh, I don't eat cake. I've
Or
never
dessert.
liked it.
Dessert in general.
Macaroons.
Macaroons, really?
Have you been to Paris?
Yeah, no, I have not, but I've been to the one at Disney.
There you go.
Oh.
Shout out to
13 countries in that motherfucker. I'll take it.
around the world.
You've been drinking at all of them?
I don't drink.
Oh, really? You're missing
Yeah,
out.
I'm kind of learning.
All right, Salina. Thank you so much for your time.
Before we let you go, though, anything you can tell us to expect for Intimidation games coming up?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, for sure. I finally get to have a rematch. Well, I don't get to have a rematch, but you know what I'm talking about. It's about me anyway. So
It's about you.
I have Loki on this rematch for the World Heavyweight Championship in a steel cage fight with ex-UFC fighter Tom Lawler.
Okay.
There's that. That's gonna be crazy because we're gonna win no matter what. So it's going down.
Well, we expect that.
Yeah. So Saturday, March 2nd.
March
2nd. Right. Keep our eyes out for that.
Absolutely. So we can take a hint that you're not gonna play fair.
Well, I don't know. If you don't play fair, you ain't trying.
Hey!
Shout out to the it's apparently.
That's all the time we have for you folks. Thank you again, Salina De La Renta. We expect great things from you in the future, and good luck with that injury. And I hope nothing sets you back, and we'll see you shortly. All right.
Yeah, here we are. Support. I will
Absolutely.
support you in all your endeavors, Oscars, wrestling, whatever it may be.
Keep breaking
Thank you
barriers.
so much.
Breaking barriers.